If you remember in one of the earlier videos, I mentioned that normally we let the database management system, PHPMyAdmin in this case, look after deciding what is the unique value of the primary key for a particular record. Okay, so that's what we're going to look at right now. Okay, so I've got another version of the house cell in the resources. Sorry about this. Thought I had it set up to go. Okay, so we have house cell CertProgDB06. So let's look at that, see what that's all about. Okay, and it's very similar to the other one that we uploaded in the last video. Okay, except this time our table names, I'm just putting 22 at the end of them. Okay, so that's exactly the same. Okay, the create table command is exactly the same except for the extra 2 in the name. Okay, the difference here is, actually that's not quite true. I've got AutoIncrement there. Okay, so create table, the primary key is AutoIncrement, not null AutoIncrement. Okay, primary key is not null AutoIncrement, customer ID, and finally comment ID, not null AutoIncrement. Okay, now what is the significance of this? First of all, the significance is that PHPMyAdmin is going to deal with deciding what the value of a particular record's primary key should be. Okay, so that means if we're actually going to write some SQL to insert, we don't have to worry about the primary key value. Okay, so if you look in here, okay, I'm inserting into product 22. Notice product underscore ID is not here. Okay, and notice as well there is no number at the beginning there. Okay, so that's quite different. If you just view this, move to other view. Okay, so here's insert into product 22, insert into product 2. Notice in the last video we had product ID in there, and then we had a number there, a comma, and then the product name. Okay, here we don't have product ID here, and we don't have the number in there. Okay, so the system is going to automatically, PHPMyAdmin is going to automatically generate numbers for these. Okay, and similarly for customer 22, AutoIncrement here, customer ID, so I don't need to write customer ID there, and I don't need the value there. And then finally for comment as well, AutoIncrement, primary comment ID, primary key. Don't need comment ID in here. Okay, but remember product ID is a foreign key here, and customer ID is a foreign key. Okay, so these two numbers refer respectively to product ID at 14 here and 1 for customer ID here. Okay, so these numbers have to already exist as valid primary keys in those other two tables. Okay, basically it means you can't put a comment in about a product that doesn't exist, and you can't put a comment in by a customer who doesn't exist. Okay, so we've only got 3 customers, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so you can see we've got 1, 3 here. We don't have, okay, we don't have a 2, but that doesn't matter. We don't have a 4 or a 5. Okay, so if I upload these, what is the story then? Now, okay, a little twist here in that I've already got comment 22 here, I've already got customer 22 here, and I've already got product 22 here. Okay, so I want to delete these tables before I re-import. Okay, so how do we do that? You just, I'm in my database, I go to structure, I see all the list of tables here. Okay, I just go to drop then. Okay, so I'm going to drop, now let me, okay, yeah, if I try and drop here, I'm getting an error here, okay, and sorry, I can't see it, I need to shrink it, there we go. Okay, so I'm getting a foreign key constraint fails here. Okay, the reason being is that I am trying to drop or delete the customer 22 table. However, those customers are in use by the comment 22 table. Okay, so I need to get rid of the, sorry, everything just copying, highlighting here. Okay, I need to get rid of the comment 22 table first. Okay, and that's fine, I can do that, and now I can get rid of customer 22. Okay, so that's called referential integrity, which I mentioned on a previous page. And as well as that, if you look at house cell on the delete comment link, okay, I have something there about referential integrity, so do have a read through that. Okay, so now I've got rid of comment 22, customer 22, product 22. Let me import those, and if you remember, the records that I'm inserting do not have primary key values in the records. Okay, so the system is going to, the DBMS is going to automatically generate those. Okay, so let's just go that. And we see comment 22 is here, customer 22 is here, and product 22 is here as well. Okay, so let us go and look at comment 22 now. Okay, and you can see comment 22, the comment IDs have been automatically generated by phpMyAdmin. Okay, we inserted them, they were null. If we look at the structure of this table, here's the structure. Okay, so this is coming basically if we go say to product 22, this here, okay, what I've highlighted here is equivalent to, okay, let's go to product. Okay, and go to structure. Okay, so all of that is equivalent to what we can see there. Okay, so product ID, notice the key there. It's picking up the primary key. Notice auto increment is here. Okay, null, no, not null. Okay, the others are all null, is the null column has yes, and the default is null. Okay, so they can be empty if they want. Default none, varchar, 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 30, 40, 200. Okay, decimal 10,2, int 5, and notice product ID is int 8. Okay, somewhere it should say, DB as well. I just don't see it there. It might be here under browse. No, I know it's there somewhere. Anyway, doesn't matter. Okay, so that is the story with primary key not null auto increment. It'll automatically generate. What we do later on is we will take the Ring of Gullion form page from last semester and we'll create a database table for that later on.